So the whole house used to be filled with that hum of ragas, swaras, alabs, everything. He used to practice it. Your whole blood is full of music. That blend which I saw between Carnatic and Hindustani was great, is what he said. What is that supreme reality? That reality is that everybody is equal. There is no religious barrier. It is only the humans who have created that religious barrier. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shalini, Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Today we are here to understand one of the essays written by an eminent personality prescribed by University of Mysuru for 2nd Sem B.C.A. Today we are going to understand the essay Pandit Jasraj written by Captain Gopinath. So let us see what is there in today's session. In today's session, we are going to understand about the author first, then we'll move on to the theme. Next, we'll understand the summary of the essay. So let us begin with the introduction of the author. So he is Captain Gopinath. His complete name is Captain Guru Ramaswamy Iyengar Gopinath. And he was an Indian entrepreneur, he was a pilot, he was the founder of Deccan Airways, and he was a retired army personnel from Indian Army. So he was the founder of Air Deccan, as I said you. His father was Guru Ramaswamy Iyengar, not to be confused with the poet Guru Ramaswamy Iyengar. Okay, so this is a very short introduction of Captain Gopinath. There is a lot to understand about him. So let us see what is there in this essay today. So he is Pandit Jasraj, and in this essay, the author tries to tell the readers about his time spent with Pandit Jasraj, who was a renowned Hindustani vocalist. So he tells about the time he spent with Pandit Jasraj. So he is the famous personality, that is Pandit Jasraj. Let us start with the summary of this essay. 2 months ago, Captain Gopinath received a call from Pandit Jasraj. So it is just a few incidents that the author narrates in this essay. So 2 months ago, Captain Gopinath one day receives a call from Pandit Jasraj. So it was a practice for Pandit Jasraj to come and stay at Mr. Gopinath's place whenever he had some event, some concert or anything in Bangalore. So Mr. Gopinath was staying in Bangalore, and Pandit Jasraj was juggling his time between America and India. So that time when he was in America, he gave a call to Captain Gopinath. So this I'm talking about 2 months ago. That is, he is talking about the time when he wrote this essay. So probably this may be 5 years ago. So that is what he is talking about, 4 or 5 years ago. So that time is what Captain Gopinath is trying to share with us. So whenever Pandit Jasraj used to come, he used to stay at Mr. Gopinath's place, especially when he had a concert in Bangalore. Whenever he stayed in some other place, whenever he had concert in Bangalore also, that time he used to stay somewhere else, maybe in some other place where the organizers have booked. So that time Mr. Gopinath would be called and invited for that concert, and Mr. Gopinath without fail would attend the concert of Mr. Jasraj. So here he called Gopinath one day, and he just told that he was talking to all of his friends, because due to COVID-19, this pandemic, he was not able to come to India and he was not able to spend some time with the friends. So that's the reason he called Captain Gopinath. So he was surprised, actually. Captain Gopinath was surprised, and then Pandit Jasraj actually explained why he had called also. Actually, this one, Mr. Gopinath was very surprised, and later on when Pandit Jasraj expired, so that time he recalls this call, and he thinks that that time maybe Pandit Jasraj would have got a hint that he is going to leave this place very soon. So that's the reason he called and spoke to all the friends. So this is the initial stage of the essay. This is the beginning of the essay that Mr. Gopinath talks about. So he talks about how COVID-19 had affected Pandit Jasraj, since he was associated with, that is Pandit Ji was associated with many of the universities and also many students. He literally had no time to meet his friends, also neither talk to his friends, but he somehow made time and he was calling all his friends and he was speaking to them. So upon asking the reason, he told that he wanted to speak to his friends and he spoke over there. And also Captain told Pandit Jasraj that he was looking forward for Panditji's visit to India, especially to his place. So he was eagerly waiting. So this left Captain a little strange feeling. So he was feeling very strange when he thought about the call. So that is the reason that is the feeling I told you. That is maybe Panditji had got a clue that he will be leaving this place soon. So that time it was a strange feeling, but after he expired, he just compared that and probably that is what he felt. So he tells his wife, that is Captain Gopinath tells his wife that it was like a thanksgiving. So he is calling everybody and saying thanks so that he doesn't have anything left in his mind before leaving. So that is what he tells his wife. Then Pandit Jasraj's appearance is being described by Captain Gopinath in his essay. So these are the wonderful words that he has used. You can feel that if you imagine how Pandit Jasraj was, you can imagine how much Mr. Gopinath was attached to Pandit Jasraj, and also you can feel that what level of respect Panditji was getting from Mr. Gopinath. So here are few words that Captain Gopinath uses to describe Pandit Jasraj. His silvery hair streaming behind. So he's talking about his hair here. So silvery hair, a glowing face. So that knowledge in Pandit Jasraj has given that aura to him. Okay. So that glowing face, gentle eyes, beatific and disarming smile. That is, there is always a smile on Panditji's face. That is what he is talking about. His soft spoken, winning ways and always impeccably attired means there is no place where you can spot a mistake in his dress. In spotless white dhotis, he always used to wear white dhotis only that were spotless. So there was not even one single spot that could be found over there. So that well he was dressed with vibrant borders, worn in traditional style. So that usually there is a way of wearing dhotis, right? So that one he is describing, matched perfectly with colorful kurtas. All are all still etched in my mind. There was a radiant aura around him. So you can see this aura around him, or around his head. That means whenever you see some god or something, that is God's picture, there is an aura behind their head they prepare, they draw. So same thing was there with Pandit Jasraj also. So there was a radiant aura in that is around him. So this is how Captain Gopinath describes Pandit Jasraj. Whenever Panditji used to come to Captain's house, he used to stay indoors only. That means he used to stay inside the room only, especially inside the room. Sometimes he used to come out of the room and he used to have some interaction with the people of the house. So the whole house used to be filled with that hum of ragas, swaras, alaps, everything. He used to practice it. Okay, he used to practice singing there. So like he's a great musician. So just like that, he'll be singing, right? So that was there, and the whole house used to be filled with that. It used to reverberate with that alaps, ragas and all. So this Captain Gopinath used to enjoy everything. So whatever small hymn that comes out of Pandit Jasraj's room, so he used to enjoy that. So that co-musicians also used to come and practice for concerts. So that time he would be very happy. He would be enjoying each and everything that was going on in the house when Pandit Jasraj used to visit the house of Captain Gopinath. In fact, he was very much captivated. So sometimes his admirers, that is Panditji's admirers, used to walk into the house unannounced. They would not even tell that they are coming and visiting. They just walk inside and they used to meet Pandit Jasraj. So that time, Captain Gopinath used to feel little irritated because it was unannounced, and also the time that has to be spent with Pandit Jasraj by Captain Gopinath would be taken away by somebody else. So he used to be little irritated, but not much. When Captain and Panditji used to sit and converse about the music or the great musicians, any music legends or something, they used to talk about both Carnatic and Hindustani music singers. Okay, there are two methods of classical music. One is Carnatic, the other one is Hindustani. So they used to discuss about everything. So that was the knowledge of Panditji. So Panditji also narrates one incident. It was very interesting that happened during a concert festival in Kolkata. So that time he describes that. So what was that incident here? Panditji was a very young artist. Okay, he was too young that time. So this incident took place that time. So there was this legendary singer Shemmangudi Srinivas Iyer. So he is a legendary singer from Carnatic music. Pandit Ji used to follow Hindustani music kind. Shemmangudi Srinivas Iyer used to practice. He was from Madurai and he used to practice the Carnatic music. So Pandit Ji and Shemmangudi sir, both of them, they performed together on that stage there. But the highlight was Bade Ghulam Ali Khan. So what was that which mesmerized the audience? The singing of Bade Ghulam Ali Sahab actually mesmerized the audience. It was at the top level that day. So more than these two, it was he who mesmerized the audience. He who ruled the show, you can say. So after this concert, when all three of them were sitting and talking, so they just had a small conversation. So that time, Ustad Sahab actually complimented Jasraj. Ustad Sahab is Bade Ghulam Ali Khan sir. So he compliments Jasraj. But at the same time, he had a special praise for Shemmangudi Iyer sir. What was that? He tells it in this way: you have great music in you. His Bade Ghulam Ali Khan sir is telling to Shemmangudi Iyer sir here. So he's telling, you have a great music in you. Your whole being embodies music, and distinctions between Hindustani and Carnatic music vanished when I listened to you. So he used to follow Hindustani. Shemmangudi Iyer sir used to follow Carnatic style. So the difference between that Hindustani and Carnatic actually vanished. You blended, you have music in you, your whole blood is full of music. That blend which I saw between Carnatic and Hindustani was great, is what he said. He, being a great musician, he has appreciated another person for being so perfectly presented, that too from a different practice, that is from Carnatic music. So this shows the humbleness of Bade Ghulam Ali Khan sir. Okay, so this incident is what Pandit Ji narrated. Pandit Ji also had the generosity to admire other musicians. So this incident shows that he used to admire Shemmangudi sir as well as Bade Ghulam Ali sir. So he, being a great musician, he used to admire the others also. So that shows the humbleness of Pandit Ji over here. Many of the legendary this Hindustani musicians, like you can count these, all are ustads here, Bade Ghulam Ali Khan or Begum Akhtar or Abdul Karim Khan. So whatever it is, okay, all of them, they practiced Islam. Okay, they practiced Islam, but in spite of that, they used to play instrument in praise of Hindu gods. So there they kept no religious barrier. Okay, though they practiced Islam, they used to sing in praise of Hindu gods. So this you must have noticed in many places also. Hari Om Tat Sat by this great personality, Bade Ghulam Ali Khan sir, accompanied by Nadaswaram by Samrat Sheikh Chinna Maulana Sahib. He is also a person who is practicing Islam. So both of them, they were practicing Islam, but they used to sing and play musical instruments in praise of Hindu gods. So Hari Om Tat Sat is something about Lord Vishnu. Okay, so something about the avatars of Vishnu. Okay, so they used to sing about Vishnu, which is a Hindu god. So this is a great example for this statement. So in such case, these temple musicians like Ustad Bismillah Khan and Yesudas, okay, you must have heard about KJ Yesudas also. They used to, here you can notice that there is one person who practices Islam, the other person who practices Christianity. Okay, so there were two people who sang at all major temples who mesmerized their audiences. So yes, even now Yesudas, it's very famous that he sings in praise of Shabarimalai Swami. Okay, so this he is very famous for that. So these are few examples that I gave to tell you that though they practice different religions, there is no religious barrier when it comes to art. Okay, so they practice singing and they sing in praise of Hindu gods. So here are few examples. So Gopinath recalls his drive with Pandit Ji to this Ram Navami festival at Fort High School in Bangalore. Okay, so this is another experience that Gopinath sir is recalling, that is with Pandit Ji. So what was that incident? He was 80, that is Pandit Ji was 80 at that time. So that time, towards the end of the performance, he sang everything. Towards the end of the performance, he sang, that is Pandit Ji sang, Mero Allah Meherban and also Om Allah Om. The audience was mesmerized. Even when you now imagine what kind of incident was that, if you just read the essay, you will feel that you get goosebumps. Okay, so you feel that power that is coming in you. So he was 80 and he sang. He used to practice Hinduism. He sang about the Islam gods. So all these days it was actually the other way. Islam, the people, the great personalities who used to practice Islam were singing in praise of Hindu gods, but here it has gone the other way. That was the respect he showed towards the religion, towards the nation, you can say. Okay, so the audience was mesmerized there. So Captain writes, he fused Om and Allah and dissolved himself and every one of us to that supreme reality. Now, what is that supreme reality? That reality is that everybody is equal. There is no religious barrier. It is only the humans who have created that religious barrier. Okay, so he fuses Om and Allah. He shows that all gods are equal. Okay, so that is the supreme reality Panditji had taken us there. Okay, so this is what Captain writes over there. So at last, after all these, this Panditji actually sings his signature song. So whichever concert he goes and performs, he used to sing this song. That is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so this song he used to sing there. So here also he performed that and ended the concert. So this was just a summary what I told you. So you got to know what kind of great personality was Panditji here. So when it comes to speaking about religious fervor of Panditji, okay, so Captain writes, you can read his own words, that he transcended all religious barriers. Okay, he crossed all religious barriers and carried everyone into a celestial bliss. Okay, so it's a kind of something that you go out of the world and listen to his music. Okay, so you enjoy that so much. It's like you are in some trance when you're listening to his music. Okay, just close your eyes, plug in the earphones and listen to his songs. They are really wonderful. You just enter a different world when you listen to Pandit Jasraj's singing. So that to me is his greatest gift. So Captain Gopinath is feeling blessed that Panditji is known to him, and whatever he is getting out of Panditji is really a blessing. Okay, so that's the greatest gift and legacy to India. So Pandit Jasraj had been a great legacy to India and rest of mankind. Yes, we have to listen to his music and we have to take it forward to our next generation. So because that is the blessing for this mankind, which today is in real danger, because we are not taking forward that to our next generation. This generation actually is getting detached from that culture, that heritage and all. So it is our father's duty, our duty in order to carry that over to the next generation. So broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. So there are small religious barriers that have been built in our own minds. Okay, so he talks about this religious fervor, what kind of mindset Panditji had that time, but what kind of mindset we have now, and because of which there have been broken up into smaller fragments because of the unseen domestic walls, that is the walls that are built inside our mind. Okay, so Gopinath also remembers Panditji with this P.B. Shelley's famous quote. Okay, music, when soft voices die, vibrates in memory. So he is talking about music. So for Captain Gopinath, Panditji itself is the music. So that was a soft voice that is dead now, that is no more now. Panditji is no more now, but Captain Gopinath recalls Panditji through the saying of P.B. Shelley. So when soft voices die, that vibrates in the memory. So even now we remember Panditji. Okay, so if you have to remember him, first you need to get that legacy in you, that greatness you need to understand. So listen to his music so you will understand how great Panditji's music was. So now we can only listen to his music, we cannot get the interaction of Panditji, but Mr. Gopinath, who has had interaction with Panditji, talks about his greatness. So this essay is one part of what he has written about Panditji. There are many more things that he has written about Panditji, which is in the form of a book. So you can, if you get time, you can read it if you are interested. Okay, so this is one small thing that you got to know about Panditji in the words of Captain Gopinath. In order to understand what great personality Panditji was, we could read this. This was just like a sample. You can go through the book and understand the complete personality of Pandit Jasraj. So that's it. This was just the summary I gave you. Please watch this video, go through the lesson, that is the essay. You will understand the essay better so that you can get a hold and tackle any kind of question you get in the exam. So thank you for your time. Let us meet again very shortly with another interesting session. So take care children. Bye-bye. See you soon.